Pilates. Okay,
How's
let's
that?
get it. So clean.
Oh man, it's me in electronics.
That is like crystal clear now.
Oh, that's perfect. It's always on those days, like you say. So you had your plumbing incident, you're super tired, and it's
Yeah,
all,
yeah, yeah. And it's like this.
yeah.
No. I wonder if, yeah, it might have been on this end here too. So I just cleared some stuff and whatever. It's all good. We're back.
Back in action.
Yeah. So I see Debbie Robbins just joined us, Air Control Pilates, and she does like silks and
Yeah.
aerial stuff, and so cool. She has like an on-demand platform, right? So it's like these courses, you can do all these different things. So I had a conversation with these guys who are running a basketball program, and
Mhm.
just talking with them yesterday about how they expand it and just teach other people who want to get into starting a basketball team or doing basketball training, and just have like an on-demand platform just to teach them their thing, right?
Yeah.
um, and I think they were just blown away by the idea, and they thought it was so good. And I was thinking that much like what you're doing with your Pilates and and your studio and your space and your retreats, and what I'm doing here is like it's just taking your passion and building a community around your passion.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's it is that the community is the important part. It's you see so many people doing it, and I think it's the successful people in all of this are those that are looking for that. They're looking to create something that they're sharing, something that they love. It's a passion. You've got to have that sort
Yes.
of desire to share it. Otherwise, I don't think it comes across as being
Yes.
authentic. And then bringing that community together means it's less of a lonely path, isn't it? Because there's nothing worse than, I mean, we experience it as teachers sometimes. We're in there, we're in the studio, and people coming through the door, and we're serving that community. But it's important to sort of expand beyond just the teaching. Otherwise, it does just become you're just this component that just doesn't have any depth. Is the wrong word. You're supporting people, and no one's supporting you. And I think it's
Yes.
really nice not to see yourself or not to be in that place where people are leaders and above it, that they're not, they're part of this community, and it just happens that we have
Hmm.
share in the physical sense, and
Yes.
body and movement, and
Hmm.
others have all that. Everyone has their thing to share and their part to play in this community.
Yes.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it just came up again this week. My when I did the talk on Brink, where I talked about those three mentors,
Yeah.
the person that you look up to, someone who's kind of done that thing already, the person that you lock arms with, someone who's kind of at the same stage of life as you, that you can kind of bounce. You and I could bounce stuff off about, like Pilates studio ownership or whatever, and the person that you help up, the person who is just coming up, that like you may be like one step ahead of them. Like you don't necessarily have to be on the mountaintop. You can just be like one step ahead of them and help them. And I think that's the piece, right? Where we have that imposter syndrome. We feel like we haven't achieved enough or whatever it is. So we think that we're not at a place where we're in a position to help someone else. But we do have so much that we've learned along the way, our school of hard knocks, our own passions and stuff, and we can
Mm.
use that to help others, right? And build a community in that way.
Yeah. Yeah, that step up as well might be something as little as just being part of the motivating or inspiring factor. So when we were, when we talk about the retreat, and you have everyone joining for, say, like a week of this, experience, you have some who are more experienced in their practice, some who aren't. But it's sometimes
Yes.
just someone linking arms with someone else and saying, "I'm going there. I'm going to go do this.
Yes.
Do you want to come with me?" So it's not that they're necessarily at any different level on their path, other than the fact that they're putting it into action. And I think that's,
Yes.
I mean, I'd probably ask the same of you within your studio and your training. Sometimes you're telling people the way you're going to get to this is just commit to it. Just put it on that piece of paper, put it on your agenda,
Yes.
happening today. And maybe that's committing to go with someone else, and it's going with someone else that's helping that person. Like for me, right? So this is like completely unrelated.
Okay.
I'm like an early bird, right? So I like
Yes.
getting early, And so I like going for my morning surfs, like as early as possible, because there's no one around. It's nice and quiet. And I've got other friends who love to surf, but they don't like getting out of bed. So if I can be that person, it doesn't mean I'm at any different level with them, but I'm the person who's saying, get out of bed, let's go have fun, you know?
Yes.
And that can be just a difference between them living that healthy morning or
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, you're that lock arms person. Like we both like surfing, but this is my struggle. I'm not gonna do it in the morning unless someone's dragging me out to do it, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
That's great though. The lock arms thing, I love that. Because that gives a
yeah.
sense of lock arms on both sides as well, which is great.
I've never thought about that piece. Let's run with that for a second.
But that's the community, right? So
That's the community. Yeah.
yeah, so sometimes we're not even just looking for just that one person. Maybe it is we are through linking arms, you're creating that chain, you're creating that bigger circle, and that's the power. The community is very, very powerful, far more powerful than people sometimes give it credit for.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because in that community piece, we're locking arms around the thing that we have in common. We're not looking at the things that we have different
Yeah,
about us.
which isn't that important right now because excuse me, there's so much. I mean, living here in America, it's unbelievable how divided people are over the most sometimes inane things and sometimes very prolific things, but they're
Yes.
divided and they're looking for that. They're constantly looking for this this battle, and when you step into a space and look for the common threads, the community in it. There's people that I teach in the studio who I do not align with in so many different ways in life, but I still
Yes.
can see that they're good people and they have this desire to change, as do I. And so they will come in and I will help them towards being healthier, pain-free, and maybe that then helps them perceive the world in a more of a positive light, perhaps.
Yes.
So yeah, putting aside differences, I like what you say there, Martin, like linking arms around that common goal, that common purpose.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah. No, that's interesting. I never thought about locking arms. Like that imagery of locking arms on both sides is the thing. I was like, oh. It's like that was right there the whole time, right? Like, so funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they lift one another up, and that's what that's what you do so well with everything, bringing this community together. I
Yes.
I feel like as Pilates practitioners, as people in the fitness industry, we're really lucky because what we do, what you do, what you give, it creates this positive space. It doesn't matter where you come from. Like, okay, so man, like you've had a late night and you're still getting up and serving. That's really special. So there's people. I'm already feeling more inspired about that and thinking, okay, I didn't have a rough night, but it's more. I've got to bring it as well today.
Yes.
And
You got to
that
carry it today, actually.
yeah, I'm my best friend, but yeah. So and I think that's. I mean, I'm losing the thread of where I'm going now, but
Yes.
and talk like it often is. But no, I think that inspiring others, bring them together. But it's a positive thing that we do. It makes us feel good. We have this good side effect that it also sometimes makes us, look stronger, look better, and that's good for our self-esteem as well. So we're sharing something that has this huge positive impact on life, on people, on the decisions that we make, and then brings of that like mind together. And when you have something that's positively, let's say, vibrating, right? You've got this beautiful positive energy, people coming together, talk about Pilates, talk about movement, talk about just trying to be better people. It's just going to attract more people to that because it's so easy to get attracted to the negative and to just go, oh, just get sucked down. That's like our default as humans.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And Jamie, I used to say, I still say it, like, you never underestimate the significance of the insignificance, right? And what
Yeah.
I mean by that is like we do something and we don't necessarily think about the ripple effects of it. it may not be important to me or as big of a sacrifice for me as the impact it has on the next person, right? Um, so I just think about like when you talk about world peace and we talk about these things that seem like these big grandiose ideas,
Yeah.
when you get down to like the granular level with it, it's amazing how that is basically teaching Pilates.
Yeah. And yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I just like there's a sense of like that's way out there, but the thing that we do, we call it teaching Pilates, but we're giving people movement, we're giving them liberation in their body, we're giving them joy and happiness and freedom and that sense of feeling good and like that, like you just said a minute ago, like the fact that like I'm soldiering through and doing this, it inspires the next person, and then they take that to the next person. Like there is a direct correlation between the small things that we're doing and the big effect, as cheesy as that sounds.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be cheesy. I think the fact that people even, because I do the same. It's almost like apologizing for saying something grandiose and is out.
Yes.
But we shouldn't apologize. That's that for our retreat. That's our mission statement. We came to that, like that was one of the main things we shared. It's world peace, one movement at a time. And that sounds
Mm.
like so. It does. It sounds so out there, and a lot of people get put off by that. And
Yes.
same within the studio setting. We go to it's work, but at the same time we're serving. We're truly serving in a really,
Yes.
exactly like you said. We're bringing movement, we're bringing health, we're bringing well-being, and hopefully like this positivity, or at least we're turning up and showing up for people. And
Yes.
in return, we ask them to do the same for us in their session. So that's one way we start to change. This is me personally, they step through the door with me, and we're not going to talk about anything that's going to bring negativity into the room. It's going to be,
Yes.
why are we here? What
Yes.
is your why for being here? Let's focus on that,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to feel better. And how that then sort of like butterfly effects into the world. I don't think it is too grand a concept to see that can create nothing more but a positive thing. And I think
Absolutely.
I do know that that's what Joe Pilates wanted from his method.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it
Yeah, yeah.
was all about, if everyone's doing Pilates and everyone's walking out the door feeling great, then how are they going to go and fight each other and create these awful situations that continually keep repeating themselves through history?
Absolutely. There's so much I want to say in that, but I just want to give people just a quick history lesson for those who are just jumping into the space. Joseph Pilates, when he came to North America, on his landing papers, he put Director of Physical Culture as his occupation.
That's so cool.
Right? So obviously he didn't put Pilates instructor. Let's start there. But he didn't put like contrologist or whatever. He put Director of Physical Culture because his vision was to be someone who was going to be, here's the word from our last conversation, the conduit for bringing this energy and movement and all these things into society. So I remember in this one workshop that we're in, the guy showed how when I think it was President Kennedy was talking about the pandemic of obesity and childhood obesity and how it was impacting America, he wrote a letter to the president saying, I have the solution.
Yeah.
The
I've seen.
solution is Pilates, right? And he talked
Yeah.
about that. Like, yeah, I'm sure you've seen that. So like, it's like, he didn't play. Like he really was out for world peace, like world culture shift in terms of movements.
Yeah.
So the one last thing I want to say on that too is like what you said that really I wrote down is like we need to stop apologizing for our vision.
Yeah, because it's why we ultimately, it's why we do what we do, right? And it doesn't matter if you have to sort of believe it. And I think that's the thing, when society, or the society that we have, the norms of society tell us that we can't believe in something as big as that.
Yes.
Then it just knocks energy out of the movement, and it is a movement, because look how it's growing. Look how more people are turning to health and well-being,
Right.
and seeing the value in lifestyle over material gain. and seeing the value in, as we talked about, community. So the
Yes.
more that happens, it why can't we believe that one day it'll be unstoppable? And that's the normal. I mean, it comes down. It's very, very hard. Like I come from the UK. My background, way back, if I go back in time to my previous life, I was a teacher. I was a physical education teacher, and
Yes.
basically watching physical education get beaten out of the
Yeah,
school
right.
curriculum.
Yep,
Just
same in Canada.
yeah. So we'll chip it down, we'll chip away, and this is all coming from whoever's in power. It doesn't matter. They're going to try and strip that away from people because it allows us to feel good. It's something that, I mean, man, when I moved from phys ed into special ed, you start to see how physical movement can completely help improve our cognitive function, switch
Yes.
on all of that, make us feel great, make us communicate better. And there they are, just taking it out of the
You're
curriculum.
just extracting hope from the schools.
Yeah, and it does
Man.
crazy. And I think in so many ways that as we talk about progress in life, when actually like going forward, we're probably going in the wrong direction. And sometimes like a way of progressing would actually be just going 180 and coming back and seeing some of these that were
Yeah.
like, that
Yeah.
could, as a world,
Man, I'm like honestly, like I'm just like I will probably pull out that whole soundbite about apologizing for a vision because like when you said that, I was like, oh, I totally watered down, like calling it cheesy or calling it like that sort of thing. But like, no, it's true. Like you have to do your part. Like, I mean, it's not my job to rent a full stadium and just like preach my message. I'm like here, like do what I'm doing from where I am.
Yeah, and that's where you need to be because you actually though I'm going to dial you back in that because you are where you are and you have your clients that you're working with, your students you're working with, but you are also here and you are also,
Yes.
but you're taking what you do and you're saying this is what I do, this is me in action and now I'm sharing it, so it's very authentic, Martin, right? We
Yes. Yes.
people can get behind that because they believe it and they see that happening with you, right? That, and you practice it as well, and that's really powerful. Yeah, I can stand out there day long in front of thousands of people and tell them this, but if I'm not authentic, they're just going to turn around and walk away, and it becomes nothing. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, that's so it's powerful what you do, and this community is powerful. But I do feel that we need to stand in that power and just keep doing it and keep doing it and keep sharing it
Yeah.
because, like you say, everybody has their part in this, but doesn't everybody want that? I don't know,
Yes.
minus a few like complete sociopaths or whatever, but everybody wants to be happy. Everybody wants to feel good. Everybody wants to get along, right? I
Yeah. Yeah.
imagine anyone.
They Well, okay. So let's play the advocate for a second. It's not that people don't want to feel happy. Sometimes people feel like they don't deserve to be happy.
Mm, mm, yeah, isn't that's a good point. It is a good point. But once again, I'm gonna just keep. But
Beat it down, Jamie. Beat it down.
no, I mean it comes back to what we do, right? Do you have people that come in to see you, perhaps, or that you come across through your work who feel that they don't feel that they should feel healthy? They feel that it's gone on so long, they've let it go. I don't know. I don't think I deserve this. I don't think that this is for me. I don't see. Yeah, and you're there to say, this can help you. I can help you, but it's going to take some investment.
Sure.
It's going to take
Right.
some, yeah, and
Yes.
it's
I'm
more than
reading Debbie's comment there. So people place unnecessary limits on themselves sometimes. That's true.
yeah, that
That
is
is
true.
true. I'll,
Yeah.
I'll give you like a little practical example of that. My son just turned 16 a few weeks ago, and thank you, Debbie. So my son just turned 16 a few weeks ago, and we're planning this party. So his mom is like she's big on celebrating these landmarks and stuff. So we're working together. We're planning it out, talking to him. We plan like this. So they have a gym, so they could play basketball because they're all heads. They're all basketball kids, and then have like a party room afterwards. So we rented this community center and did the thing. So I'm talking with Nathan about it, and I'm saying like, "Are you excited for your party?" And his response was, "I don't feel like I deserve this."
Ah,
There's this sense of I haven't done enough good stuff to deserve this, or maybe there's a nervousness about the collision of his friends from youth group and basketball friends and high school friends, or like maybe if I actually put out there that I want this and no one shows up, I'm going to be disappointed. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
he's pushing back. I'm just using him as an example, but people do all the time where they're pushing back against this opportunity to be happy,
yeah,
right? Because they don't deserve it. They don't want to be disappointed, whatever the case is. So like it turned out it was a great day. Lots of people showed up, all of his friends who never met each other had a great time. They all played together, they did their thing, and it was awesome. And afterwards there was this sense of gratitude, and I think for his first time in his life, that sense of being humbled. Have you ever been in a place where you receive so much and you have no means to reciprocate it? You can't pay them back for it. You can't
mhm,
do enough to say thank you. And you're just kind of sat there. You have to sit there with being happy. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
So
That,
I'm watching this unfold, and I'm like, this is the sort of thing that we do for people on a regular. When someone walks in and they're in pain, and then 6 weeks later they're able to walk down the stairs without pain, or they can move their neck, and they can check their blind spot when they drive, and they're so grateful for the work that we're doing. It's
yeah,
the exact same thing, right?
it is the exact same thing. Congratulations on your son's 16th, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
You're nearing interesting years, I would imagine.
Yeah, second time through.
All right.
Yeah, my other guy's 19, so and my stepkids are 18 and 15, so I'm right in that teenager block right now, man. So
Oh, I'm way south of that with mine. Mine are still pretty young. So it's good.
yeah. How
Um,
old are your kids?
7 and 11.
Yeah, those are fun ages though. Like you're
Oh,
like, yeah,
yeah, but yeah, that's great.
oh, man.
It's like you're saying about that. It's almost like a fear, isn't it? A fear of things not quite working out as we expect. That loss of control. I mean, you're talking about your son has these two sort of friendship groups. You know, when
Yeah,
you and you step back from it, why are they not going to get along? Because they
you're the common denominator.
exactly right, and that's
Yeah,
what they're
yeah,
for. And they're both coming to celebrate a birthday, to celebrate something. You know, the idea that they would come and not connect is, but we still have that fear, and
that's here.
it's the same in movement. It's the same in the studio. You come in here, you're in pain. What if I come in and this makes it worse? What if this,
Mm-hmm.
you know, what if I don't get the results I want? What if I'm out of control? What if this, you know, isn't my place? I don't know. It's a hard step, and it's a big step. And yeah, I think as teachers, it's an important part of what we do is making it as welcoming,
Sure.
helping people through that. But it's
So Jamie, so then with your retreat, then do you have? Is it like my idea is that is people like me who want to go and just have like a movement retreat? Do you have people who go in who are like, this is my last effort to just find myself, or my last chance to get in shape? Like, are there people who come in like real with some real deep needs walking into your retreat space?
yeah, of course.
Really? Eh?
Because we all have needs. That's for sure. We all have uh, blocks that we've got to get through. But it's not so much. I think where we position the retreat and what we want to offer is something that's accessible. So it's not. It's not like if you want to go and get like super elite movement in terms of like say a yoga practice and you're looking for that, you know, that's not that we don't offer amazing teaching, but that's not the focus. The focus is going to be amazing, welcoming, open, very experienced teachers who will work with all levels. So there's no sort of like snootiness or this.
Yes.
So we create this really nice building block. We also don't make people, you know, walk around in white robes and eat certain foods and all of that. It's not like super strict that, which has its place. That's just not
Yeah.
that us.
Right.
It's all come
Yeah.
together, support one another wherever you are. Like you were talking about, whether you're helping someone up, linking arms with someone, wherever you're at in that journey, is bringing the community together to support. And so therefore, we get a lot of people that come for their first retreat. Maybe they say, hey, I don't even feel comfortable doing this movement, but someone's told me or they've encouraged me to come, and I'm just going to come and eat and relax. And they end up doing the movement, and they end up changing and going, wow, this is something. And so, yes, it can be exceptionally transformational. And even
Mm.
who have a great physical practice, but haven't taken the time to listen to themselves and say, I shouldn't be going 100 miles an hour all the time. I need to actually step back. Hey, there's Ruth. She's just come back from the retreat.
Eh,
Hey, Ruth.
yes.
So people can step back from that pace and that sort of pressing so hard into the physical practice and realize that there needs to be softness as well. And maybe they need
Yes.
what they eat, or take some time just to talk and listen to other people and connect with the community.
Right.
The transformation can be on all levels. I don't even know if I answered your question there. So
No, not really. That's fine.
just
uh,
jump in and
that's
stop me anytime. If I'm
no. That's so Debbie went. She's been to your retreat. Very cool.
yeah, yeah, and
Nice.
times as well, not more than once.
Yes. Very cool. So do you have teachers who come in and like scheduled to come in and teach for a week, or are they like just staff that are always there, or how does that part of it work?
It's both. It's both. There's
Okay.
we have a team that is there year round. Let's say
Yeah.
uh, great yoga teachers, great Pilates teacher, really good. Like we have the whole kitchen team, and then you've also got the massage therapist. All of this that's all there all the time, and
Yeah.
so we have the Is All Fit experience. The place is called Is All Fit. We have the experience, and that's week in, week out. And then every once in a while, we'll throw in a teacher will come out. We might do
Hmm.
like I might go over and do like a full week of Pilates, just nothing but Pilates on the schedule,
Yes.
and um, and that can theme a little more then. And the same, we've got like a yoga, I think a yoga and meditation retreat that's coming up in sort of the September, and it's that sort of thing. So you get these special weeks that sort of break up the year where people can really find a focus and get into.
Yes.
Yeah,
I see Ruth's comment here. After 2 years of working and living on my own, it was so good to connect with like-minded people.
yeah, yeah,
Love that. The
yeah,
well, we've said in the past too, like you talked about like knowing your why. Someone walks into the studio, and knowing their why is so important. And one of the things I've talked about and thought about a lot is like also owning your how, right? So now I know my why, but then you have a how in a retreat center, your studio, and as we unapologetically lean into our how of doing it, we make space for the Ruths of the world or for the Debbies of the world to come in and find community in there,
yeah.
So
And
yeah,
community for ourselves as well. It's
absolutely.
and it happens on much like your son's birthday. It happens on all these different levels. So you'll have people perhaps say Ruth will come out and meet more people that she hasn't met before, and they'll bring others who are their sort of friendship group, and you start to build this really nice, diverse, super diverse like group of people
Yes.
around, like you said right at the very beginning, around this common point, this common interest, which
Yes.
is just, it's really cool, because then it's so multi-dimensional. Then it's not just all, well, we come for the Pilates. It's so much more than that.
Right.
There's those that are on different journeys towards this same point, and
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, bring what they have.
What seems like such a bad question to ask when it's like 8 minutes left in a conversation, but what made you so excited about community? Like, I mean, I understand like your Pilates journey in terms of just like getting deeper in movement and also the teaching piece and the special ed piece and also being a dad. Like there's so many elements that that speak to that nurturing component, but where did the community, like the global community piece, come up for you?
For me, I grew up in a small community, and I saw the power of that. And I grew up on a small island just off the south coast of England, right? And
Oh, really? Okay.
yeah, and it's super cool the way everyone from all different sort of walks of life will come together and support one another. Not always support, but sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that's the thing. We learn to live together in this close community, and then sort of when you step out and do things on your own, and you want to, you know, create your own life, you step out there. But if you don't have that support around you, or the friends around you, or, you know, or like you talk about, just even just the fact of having a plumber who you can call to come in and do that you trust, it makes life not just easier, but a happier space.
Yes.
And so I just feel like one of the things that whether I've chosen to or not, it's been often throughout my life, it's been presented as something, a role that I have to play is creating a space for people to come and be a community around. So if I can be part of
Yes.
it, I win as well, because I get to be part of this social group as well.
Yeah, that's powerful, because you know that that's the fiber of who you are, right? Like whether you were teaching Pilates or you were a mechanic, you'd find a mechanic community and make them feel welcome, right? Like you do it, whatever it is that you do, because that's who you are.
Yeah, and seeing it as well, especially as business owners, it doesn't have to be competition all the time. You know,
Thank you.
if you have someone next door doing exactly the same thing, then yeah, you know, the best way to move forward is to see how you can help each other. You know, because if we're just continually battling and feeling fear and drawing up closing the gates or whatever and saying this is me and that's you and let's see who wins this, that doesn't work. You
No,
got to
no,
reach out and, you know, be part of something together.
absolutely. One of my highlights from our first conversation, Jamie, is when you went and kind of came up, maybe just on the fly. I don't know if it's something that you preached before or if you just said it, but about being that conduit. And all that we've just said about, you know, community and connecting people and helping them feel better and happy and stuff, the way you phrased it before, I'm just saying, just for people who didn't see our first conversation, it was just recognizing the awesomeness of the fact that we are almost like just a vessel that this is happening through.
Mm. Yeah.
And you know, I love the way that you said it, because it's like I've gathered this knowledge from all over these places, and then this person is now in front of me on the reformer, and now I'm downloading it to them in bite-sized pieces to help them move better, feel better, be happy, all those different things. So, like, in a sense, I'm a vessel just channeling this through. So that notion of being a conduit and the awesomeness of that responsibility, the joy of being it, and all those things that came with it, for me, was one of the things that really resonated from our first conversation.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's also I think it's the element that allows us to get through those days when it's a little tougher as well, which was the end of our teaching of the day, and you still want to bring that same energy and give your last client the same energy you gave the first client. And the way to do that is sometimes just to let it come through you, you know, let it happen. See the body in front of you and just see where that takes you. So not bringing your own agenda, in your own like fatigue to it, and it tends to happen.
You're preaching right now, my friend.
But you know, I feel that can be really helpful. We don't actually own this work. There's no ownership to Pilates really, other than him. And even when you look at Joe, there's a whole bunch in there where it seems so intuitive, rather than him going, I've looked at the human body, I'm going to do this. I mean, there was all that going on, but there's
Right.
something where you're like, okay, so he's holding his leg pull front. Why are his fingers together? Why are his hands together? Is that a conscious decision, or is that just intuitively happen?
Intuitively. Yes.
That connects to the shoulder in a different way, the serratus.
Mm-hmm.
So the ownership is not ours to say, this is my information and I'll give you what I want to give. It's no, this is here and you're going to get whatever's right for you, and I'm going to share it. And the more people that know about it, the better it is, and the more people that know about it and feel better, the closer we are to world peace again. You know, we're back on that.
You can't argue with that. Like that is exactly it. And that's my takeaway from today is not apologizing for my vision.
No, no, do not. No, it's authentic and it's what you feel. So stand in the power of that and say, this is where I'm going. And if you want to join me, we're going there. The more that join me, the sooner we get there. So who wouldn't want that? Who wouldn't want that?
So good. So good. Getting some hearts and some world peace love from Debbie. Oh, yeah. So good. Fit Club Pilates, Lisa is saying, great positive energy vibes from both of you. Supporting and encouraging each other. So good. Amazing. Jamie, man, I can just talk to you all day, man. Like I'm so glad that we had this chat today. And I have to say, yeah, I mean, and also I just have to say too that like I just really like you, man. Like I just love your energy. I just love your vibe. I just love the way that you move and the way that you put stuff out there. Your content, your posts are just so strong and so energetic and so inspiring. They're not like I can't do. I saw him do it. I'll never be able to get there. Like you put it out in a way that's like, okay, let's go. So you'll see that like I'll make a post off of your post or you make a post off of mine because we're inspiring one another. Like you're doing it in such an authentic way that it is inspiring the next. So just keep being you, man. I love it.
Yeah, and right back at you, Martin, because that's it. It is. It's inspiring what you do, and the way you're bringing everyone together around that as well is just awesome. And I really appreciate you. And it's the same way. Yeah, I really like you, man. It's cool. It's great. It's good, but isn't that it? There's you talked about it. It's this digital virtual world, but there's all these connections happening, and that's really cool. That's such a positive part of all of this, you know?
Absolutely. Good stuff. So Fit Club Flies, Jamie, your vibes and classes are inspiring.
That's sweet. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, man. So thank you so much for your time, Jamie. Like I said, I could do this for another hour and a half, but I have someone who's waiting for me. So
you gotta jump. Coffee. Refill your coffee. Power through.
Right, exactly. That's the deal. All right, thank you so much, and thank you to everyone who joined us today. I really appreciate you, Debbie, Lisa, and everyone. Ruth, thank you for joining in today. Really appreciate all of you. All right, sounds good, man. Take care. Thanks again, Jamie.
All right, you too. Bye.